triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, just like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the world's most infamous live sports show. I'm not gonna hold you. Hosted by your boy Scott Lewis, and I'm here with my esteemed co-host, Mr. J.R. Bang. And of course, you know where to follow us on all social media platforms at Barbchair Scott and at J.R. Bang. Please follow all of our handles at Barber's Chair Co. on all social media platforms. Subscribe to the Patreon. That link is in the description box. If you are too lazy to click on that, please scan the QR code right here. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've been updating it pretty regularly, but I'm going to really be updating it a lot more during the summer after I'm not going to hold you off for the summer. So we're going to be doing a whole bunch of NBA free agency, NFL stuff, getting closer to training camp. We got some special Chicago Bears type videos I'm going to be doing. There's going to be a lot of Bulls content, obviously, because they're going to be the talk of the summer with the free agency. Still waiting to see who's going to be the head coach. I thought I had an exclusive on my episode with the homie Cam Smith that is out on my YouTube right now, co-host of the Bulls pre- and post-game show. We thought it was going to be Sean Sweeney from the Spurs. He's going to Orlando. So who knows where it's going to be. But still check all of that out on the channel. The link is in the description box. And, of course, the QR code is right here on the screen, man. It's a good weekend. It's hot outside.
Yeah.
Bang, how you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm feeling good. A week off of, or 5 days off of birthday bash in Atlanta. Shouts out to the Hot 107.9 team out there. T.I., 2 Chainz, Gucci, number of people. They killed it out there. So shouts out to the team there, because I was at birthday bash last Sunday. I was not able to see your television debut. So congrats to you on your television debut. I know you've been waiting on that. So it was dope to see you up there with the quarter zip. Talking sports, you know what I'm saying? So congrats to you. And
Thank you, sir.
Short week. So happy it's Friday after this week, man. I feel like I've been in the middle of a civil war.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to watch that interview, if you missed Sunday, because it came on pretty late, shout out to WGN. Shout out my boy Jared Payton. Shout out to Kevin Powell. Shout out to their whole staff over at WGN. They were real nice people. And that's why I say put in your work, because I produce a lot of stuff. So when I got to the studio, I was used to all the production stuff they were doing. I knew where to put my mic. I knew this and the third. I knew where to look for the teleprompter. You know, you ever do stuff when you're like in high school and college and you're like, I'm never going to use this shit. But at Curie, I had my major was radio television. And I really only picked that major because that's what all the good-looking girls was at the time. And also, number 2, that was the only major that wasn't going to bore the hell out of me. But I learned about production and how to read teleprompters, how to put the actual words on a teleprompter. And you know, about 20-some years later, I knew exactly where to look.
Some NBA news that just popped up. Cleveland Cavaliers general manager Mike Gansley has agreed to become the president of basketball operations for the
For the
Philadelphia
Sixers.
76ers.
Okay.
Interesting. Not a name that I expected.
Very interesting. I almost forgot they fired what's his face? He's from Houston. I can't remember his name.
Daryl Morley.
Daryl Morey. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, it was cool. I had fun. Anybody who knows me knows how uncomfortable I was wearing that quarter zip. Anybody who knows me. Because if it was up to me, I would dress like Coach Prime in any situation in life for the rest of my life. I like being comfortable. But as protocol with television, so I did what I had to do. But it was cool. It was actually pretty easy to get to the WGN studios. I thought they were like in Indiana or some shit. I didn't know they was just up north. So, but yeah, I had a good time. If you missed it, the video is on my YouTube. I was talking Bears. And yeah, hopefully they bring me back, man. But how was Birthday Bash? I know I saw the lineup. It looked real millennial approved.
Oh yeah, it was definitely for us. It was definitely for us, fam. It was definitely for the millennial group, but not. It was dope, man. For what I saw, I was doing the media room, um, but it was dope, man. Shouts out to my wife, because she was out there helping too. So she got to see some of the people that she grew up listening to as well. Scrappy, Soldier Boy was there also too. Like I said, Ti, 2 Chainz, Gucci, was on there too. Very millennial, very cool, very mellow. Wasn't a lot of issues. It rained afterwards, so walking in Atlanta in the rain was like very crazy. But State Farm Arena, it was sold out. And again, shouts out to the Hot 107.9 crew, for really doing their thing. It really showed me that like a lot of people try to chase after the young group, like the young artists.
That's not where the money's at.
No, it's not. That young group that has the TikTok hits and all of that stuff. Like, nah,
Market
fam.
to the
Like,
30 to 45.
yep. So that's what it was, man. It's lit.
Uh, when I was watching, not really watching, but like just seeing how you got a lot of the artists we grew up on putting out albums, going on tour. And this is the conversation that we will have next week on Summer Session. I know I've been saying this for like 3 weeks, but I had to do something last minute on Tuesday. But my schedule is open next week. There is free zones. So we will finally do Summer Sessions next week. Also, Cabby was in Paris last week. So
I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't have been able to do it that Tuesday. Gee, I thought I was gonna die. That's what, fam. I have never felt as much turbulence going up in the air.
Oh, the turbulence?
Oh my God, fam. I was asleep, woke up, nervous as hell, scared, glad my wife was with me. I had to hold her hand tight. I was praying. I thought it was a wrap, G. People was holding their hand up. I wasn't the only nervous one.
Oh, it was that bad.
Oh, fam, it was bad.
Did the mask fall out?
No, the mask ain't fall out, but people was waiting for them to fall out. It was raining out there. It was like rainstorm, so they hit the pedal to the metal, along with the turbulence. I was like, yo, hey, man, I do not want to go out like this. I got 3 sons. They don't need to be orphans.
You know what? That happened to me one time. So I took this flight. This had to be, when did that YG album come out? That had like Quick on it. I think that was 2022. Yeah, it was 2022. It was right after. It's like when COVID started dying down, and we got down to somewhat normalcy. So I was on a flight from Los Angeles to Chicago, and also on my flight was former Chicago Bear, San Francisco 49er, Mr. Spice Adams himself.
Yeah,
and there was also another person on this flight who just happens to be a former NBA Most Valuable Player, the youngest NBA Most Valuable Player from Inglewood, Mr. Derrick Rose.
The one you got pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he did not remember whatsoever because I definitely talked to him. But it was me, D Rose, and Spice Adams. Obviously, Spice Adams and D Rose were in first class and I was not. But it was crazy turbulence, bro. Like to the level you're explaining. And the only thought that I had in my head, damn, this plane gonna go down, and the news gonna say Derrick Rose, Spice Adams, and others pass away in tragic plane crash. I lived my life to be the others.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's why I gotta kill it in life, bro. I refuse to be one of the others.
Hey,
But
shouts real
plain land
quick.
safety.
Yeah, hey, real quick, talking about the others. Shouts out to Jay Washington because when we was doing Laughing Insanity at the Laugh Factory, um, he did an interview with one of them shows on WCIU Channel 26 promoting Laughing Insanity, and he literally called me the other guy. He literally called me the other guy on the joint to the point where I had my mom bring a sign that said the other guy is my son. So that's one.
That's
And
hilarious.
two, I don't know how your timeline is, Instagram or Facebook, especially Instagram. But shouts out to Jay Washington, because this man is in a boatload of Hims commercials.
Yeah, so I did see that he did see my timeline is nothing but Arsenal and the Bears right now. I'm just gonna that's literally all my timeline. But he was able to crack the algorithm, and I did see that. So shout out to Jay. I'm glad to see Jay doing his thing in LA. I remember when he first moved out there, he came to my crib, and I was pretty much giving him the what's the word I'm looking for? Like I guess the what LA is about and how you should move around here. So to see him moving around well, and you guys are the ones who put the battery on my back because y'all radio show the first one I was on. So, that's what happened. But shout out to Jay. Man, I want to talk about there's a couple things I want to talk about before we get to our main topic part of the show. But I want to talk about gatekeeping fandom, sports fandom. And this is something I have been thinking about. Well, it's been a lot more recently, but just really this entire year. Now, with this past Chicago Bears season, with the Bears being so good, beating the Packers in the playoffs, having a quarterback actually scoring points, it's been different than past times that the Bears have been good. Because it's usually the Bears just had a great defense and there's nothing sexy about the offense. But you've seen a lot of new Bears fans pop up out of nowhere. And I've talked to a couple people and they were like, man, I don't like these new fans, they're bandwagoners and things like that. And then I see it a lot lately since Arsenal just won the Premier League. There's a lot of old Arsenal fans like, oh, where were you when this happened, da 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 da. And here's my thing. Gatekeeping fandom is the dumbest thing ever. Yes, you should get a round of applause for being a diehard fan. That's awesome. But I actually feel happy for new Bears fans that you didn't have to go through the double doink, that you didn't have to go through Rex Grossman throwing an interception in triple coverage in the rain in Super Bowl 40, that you didn't have to go through the 2 decades of just getting bullied by the Green Bay Packers. You didn't have to go through Thanksgiving 2004 when we played 3 quarterbacks in that game. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go through that. Hove did that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that. I only have 2 rules for new fans. 1, have respect for the long-term, lifetime fans. And number 2, you can't leave now. You're here forever. So if and when it gets bad again, you can't go anywhere. You're one of us now. So that's really all my thing. And I've seen it a lot on social media where it could be something where it don't even have to be the 2 teams I named. Did you know any OKC Thunder fans? Like it went from liking the Russ, Katie, Harden days that nobody was an OKC fan. And then they get shade. You see people rooting for them and da 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 da. People like winners. So you're naturally going to get new fans when that happens. Now, me personally, when I chose Arsenal last year, I was told they were losers. They were told me I was told word for word. Oh, you're attracted to losers. Oh, they always choke the lead away. I was told all these disparaging things. If I was a glory hunter, I would have picked Liverpool because they were the champions last year. So I just feel like, who are you, number one, to try to be the person who says who can't root for what and who can't root for this? Some people find their ways new to things. There was a whole bunch of new fans that I saw at these playoff games. Like I've said many times, there was a lot of fine women at these games. I've been going to Bears games forever. I ain't never seen that amount of quality in Soldier Field, even when it's cold. So I just think, as long as you're coming into it for the right reasons, who fucking cares, man? Like, you want an award for being in the struggle? That's like somebody saying, "Oh, I take care of my kids." You want a cookie for that? You're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I just feel, I actually wish I was a new Bears fan, so I wouldn't have the trauma that comes with watching this team the last 25, 30 years of my life. So I just want to go off on that mini rant. Any thoughts on gatekeeping fandom? And I do believe that we should gatekeep more stuff, by the way. Just not this.
The only thing that I really say to this, is it gatekeeping or is it we finally could come outside? That's it.
That's also true.
Like,
that's also true.
Like, there's a lot of people that didn't want to come outside
with their
Bears jersey on. Now, and even with they started to come outside with with Justin Fields. But then they jumped back inside.
Hold on, I gotta respond to this comment. So we passed the Arsenal part now because I'm a City fan. I am sorry for you, brother. Not only did y'all lose to us, we ran Pep out. I'm sorry for that. I'm really sorry for that. Enjoy being Blackburn Rovers for the next 5 years, okay? And you better hope them Chargers don't drop. Or y'all gonna be dropping to the second division. That's all. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead, man.
That sounds like some regulation conversation that I don't know nothing
they're
about.
not. But they've been cheating for a decade. They got 115 financial fair play. What's it called? Allegation. Not even allegations, charges. That's why Pep Guardiola, their coach, retired. I think he's pulling the Jim Harbaugh.
So I think when Justin Fields started running around and rushing for 1,000 yards, people was like, "Yo, maybe we could come outside." I've seen more, man. You know what? I can't believe I was rooting for Justin Fields like that. Tweets in the last couple of days where it's been like, "Oh, we."
You mean Mikey and Dante in the chat?
No, I ain't talking about just them. I'm talking about because I saw it in the chat and I was laughing my ass off. But I'm talking about on Twitter, like, yo, once that 67-yard touchdown in OTAs the other day, I saw so many people like, yo, I don't even know what I was thinking about when I was caping. So I think it's more people like, yo, we outside, we actually got a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, we actually, at the very least, we got a quarterback.
We're going to talk about Bears OTAs, too, because I got some good nuggets to give y'all. Not that, because it's not that much to take from OTA. It's like, I was going to do a recap video yesterday, and I was like, I'm going home. Like, there's nothing to recap.
Yeah, but I was laughing at you when you said up in the chat, you was like, yo, it's some plays in here. Man, and then we start seeing the social, and you're like, yeah, that's the one play I saw. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. I was like 3 feet from Caleb when he threw that. They might have edited me out the video, but I was over there, I promise. I was right over there. But we'll get, because I got some good nuggets for what I saw yesterday. That obviously it's May and it's OTAs, but it's some things that made me excited that we'll get to. But anyway, I say all that to say this, man. Root for who you want to root for, man.
Yeah.
Don't be gatekeeping anything. Shout out to all the new Bears fans. Shout out to the Arsenal fans who embraced me into the Arsenal online community. Okay, shout out to y'all. Because I don't know if you saw Pavy Instagram. Pavy found his way at an Arsenal championship watch party last week when he was in London. And he texted me. He's like, man, y'all everywhere. I can't even get on the train. And I was like, hey, man, we global out here. But before we get to the main topics, two little NFL things we want to talk about. Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs arrested with 5 different charges of domestic violence. Now, they don't say who the woman is. I have an idea who the woman is, but I am not messy, so I will not be saying that or even allude to who it might be. And you know who it is, too. That's why you're looking like that.
I did not.
Me and Mikey put 2 and 2 together very quickly. But I don't want to spend too much on this. I just will say, number one,
Wow.
prayers up for the young lady who's involved in this situation. Um, as you all know, men should never put their hands on women in any situation, right? So, from a moral perspective, I hope he gets what's coming to him. From a football perspective, yes. This is 6 games suspended at minimum. At the minimum.
At the minimum.
The Packers run game is gonna be crap for a month and a half. Like if we're gonna look at it from a obviously that obvious position you should take that is not good. From a football perspective, this is great for the NFC North. This is awesome. Now they're gonna be starting without their two most important players, not named Jordan Love, to start the season. Because I think at worst he's gonna be suspended a month. Even if the NFL does the we don't really care about women NFL thing, he's gonna get suspended for 6 games. They're gonna appeal it, and it's probably gonna be cut down to 4. Either way, it's at least a month of the season, and that's not including Micah, who's gonna be out maybe the first month, still recovering from that ACL injury. And it's kind of fun. I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't seen any updates on his ACL because Patrick Mahomes is doing OTAs. I don't know if y'all saw.
Yeah, you was right.
Yeah. So that was I knew that was going on. But Josh Jacobs, I hope the ladies fine from a football perspective. I think that's a great start for the NFC North. Jackson Dart. Now, I am currently, as we are speaking, being called every racial slur possible in my Instagram because Sports Illustrated posted something where Jackson Dart said at OTAs that he loves and respects his teammates despite his political views. And I commented, that ain't how this works, brother. Now, I am not new to Instagram. I am not new to the internet. I knew that this comment was probably going to be spammed by racists. And boy, was it. I got called a chimp. I got called the full ER. I'm being called a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, you got the hard ER.
Yeah, I'm all of it. And I just respond to him. See, you're proving my point. Yeah. So this is my overall thing. So for those of you who don't know, Jackson Dart introduced the president of the United States. I will not be saying my president or our president because I will not be doing that. But the president of the United States introduced him at a rally. By the way, why is this idiot still having rallies? What sitting president you ever seen had rallies after he won? Like it's whatever. But he introduced him at a rally, and then you saw Abdul Carter tweet, "Word really," or something to that effect, being upset about it. And you can obviously see that this is going to be an issue, or maybe is already an issue in the locker room. Now, I'm not naive to think that, he's the first football player to, have these conservative views and things like that. No, that happens all the time. But I think when you parade it out there like that, and you have so many black teammates, it's not a good look, especially when you're the quarterback of the team. And I don't think we have any idiots watching this show. But just in case we do, what I mean by this doesn't work like that, brother, is you can't love and respect your teammates of another race when you're publicly supporting something that is against everything that your teammates' race stands for. So I thought that was pretty logical to break down and to understand. But unfortunately, we live in a world where people just want to debate, people are racist, and people just, like to be, what's the word I'm looking for, be on the other side for whatever, man. This is not a political show, even though y'all know 100% where I stand, okay? But to me, man, it's just, this could be a problem. I really do think it could be a problem long-term for the Giants, because I don't really know how you fix that if you're Jackson Dart.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword here, right? Like, you are able to believe, and my nephew just popped up here, so I'm gonna grab him while I'm doing this too. But you can believe in whatever you want to believe, right? Like, you want to rock with Buddy, you know what I'm saying? That's all cool. If that's your man's, that's your man's. I think the one thing that Jackson Dart needs to know and understand is when you when you put that publicly, you bring that into the locker room. And now other people got questions. And when you look in the locker room, and the majority of the locker room are black men, and there's going to be some black men, not all. There's going to be some black men that feel a way about your support for Buddy Ass. You put that publicly, you not only change the dynamic for yourself, but now you change the dynamic for the team. And now you got to start asking questions. Now your teammates are going to start asking questions. And nobody really want to ask questions about your political, do you feel a way about somebody's political dealings. Don't nobody want to ask you, well, nobody want to be asked about how you feel about supporting this dude right here. Religion, politics should not be in the locker room. When you in the locker room, you all are about team. And I think it's best for players to not bring that into the locker room. I have not said you should not believe in dude. I am not saying that because if that's who you want, that's how you rock with when it comes to the president. By all means, do your thing. But when you get out in the open, now you bring it to your teammates. And now they got to start asking questions. And nobody really want to ask that question. They just want to hoop. They just want to ball. They just want to play football. So that's how I look at it. You can have all of the political affiliations. You could be your sexual orientation. You can you can be into this. You could be into that. Hell, you could be homie in billions for all I care. You know what I'm saying? Just don't bring that into the locker room. You know what I'm talking about. Paul Giamatti when he used to go
Oh
down in the
yeah,
dungeon.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
When he used to go
yeah,
down in the dungeon. Like you could be
yeah.
all of
Yeah.
those things. The minute you bring that into the locker room, now we gotta answer some questions. And that's why you don't bring those things to the locker room. You don't put those things out in the open like that.
To be
Especially
fair to Paul Giamatti's character Chuck Rhodes, I'd have let Wendy Rhodes step on me too.
yes.
I'm be real.
I would have done
She
the
could
same
have her
thing.
way with me. But anyway,
Yes.
moving on to the main timeline. Now it's time to talk Bears OTAs, man. So yesterday was the second Bears practice of OTAs, only the first that the media were able to see. The media has been able to see one practice a week. So this is the first one we've been able to see. And it was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. For what you can get for a practice in May, I just liked what I saw. First of all, it was very hot outside. Well, it started decent. It started decent. Um, yeah, these random comments be funny. What race is this Hawaiian? No, I am not Hawaiian. That is funny. That is funny. I've never heard that one before. But that's funny, Hawaiian. But what else? Got me thinking like I'm the Rock or something. But anyway, so yeah, there's a couple things I noticed that I can say. Because there's one thing that I really can't say that I have to tell you off air that I can't put out there because I'm pretty sure the Bears don't want. Not Bears. Ben Johnson doesn't want that out there. So, but the confidence I saw from Caleb Williams yesterday was really intriguing. The way he had control of the offensive line was a lot different than what I saw this time last year. Last year, it was his first off-season training with Ben Johnson. They had a lot of new players, a lot of new coaching that he had to get used to. And it just feels like that he knows exactly what he's doing, which is exactly what we saw more in the second half of the season and definitely in the playoffs. There was even a play where he's on the offensive line. Like, let's hurry up. And that's what got me excited about it. And this leads me to my little mini rant here. I'm not going to name the beat reporters that were having this conversation. But there was a lot of talk, not a lot of talk, but a little bit of talk like, oh, they're probably going to win 8 or 9 wins next season. And I'm like, yo, we got to get rid of this old Bears PTSD thing. Like, I believe if you still have those questions, you're just being lazy in your analysis. Especially what we're witnessing with this kid that you got at quarterback. Last year I had questions, and not to say I don't have questions this year. Y'all know very much well where I stand on the pass rush, on the defense, and why I think that's going to be the Achilles heel. And if there was any reason why the season doesn't go the way that this fan base wants to go, is because of the pass rush. But
Yeah.
I just think that any thinking, oh, this is going to be like how the Bears usually are, they're going to drop back down to 7, 8 points. You're not paying attention, man. And I just feel like that lazy stuff has got to stop. And I wanted to say something, but I kept it to myself. I didn't let the inner fan jump out of me. But I was very impressed. Was as impressed that I could be with Caleb for May practice.
So I'm gonna shout out Dan Graziano for this because he said this, and for the first time, I said, okay, I don't give a damn about wins at this point because I know we're gonna be good. He said that the Bears can win less games and be a better team than they were last year. And that's the first time I was like, I'm not even worried about the wins piece fully. Because yes,
Yeah, I need to hear the reason for this one.
no, because the Bears can win. What the Bears won? How many games last year? 11 games.
It was 11.
Nah, I
They
think it was
can't win that. They can't lose that many. They could probably like lose one less game.
no, I said
They dropped to 9. They not better. They not
No,
making the
wait a minute.
playoffs.
No, wait a minute. Hear me out. Because I understood what he was saying, and this is what I'm saying right here. That division is still going to be difficult. We both said it. Don't think Man ain't gonna come to the Minnesota Vikings and they're not gonna be better at the quarterback position because they won 9 games with bad quarterback play. So you got that piece right there. As much as I hate the Detroit Lions, they not going nowhere. Green Bay to me is the team. I've said it here. I think Green Bay is the team that takes the step back. When we look at this, my prediction, and I'm not saying this because I hate Green Bay. I just think that the Minnesota Vikings is going to have a better season. Detroit is going to be Detroit, and the Bears are going to win the division. And I think that Green Bay goes. I think also only one team makes it to the playoffs in this division. This is not going to be out there talking about the NFC North last year. I think the Bears are going to win this division. And based off of what I've seen with the other teams and other divisions and stuff, I would not be shocked or surprised if one team comes out of this. But if the Bears win 9 games, when you look at how difficult their schedule can be, not saying is, I'm saying what can be. I think this team could be a better team on paper than they was, but the record might not necessarily show it. But I'm also saying that they going to the playoffs. They're winning that division. I don't think that they got to win 13 games in order for us to be like, oh, because I do think this, while the schedule is not as difficult and everything is spread it out, I do think that, yeah, it might be some hiccups along the way, but this team will be better than what it was last year. Now, with that being said, I ain't stepping off of my prediction yet. I got them as a 13 win. I still got them as a 13 win team. I'm just not going to get caught up right now. I'm not going to get caught up in, man, this team ain't win as many games, so they're not better than they were last year based off of some of the teams that they play.
I only agree with that if the win total is 1 game less. If it's 9, they're not a better team than they were last year. Like, you can't sell me on being a better team when you're not double-digit wins. Like, if you 1 game worse, okay, you can sell me on that. 9, because you're not making the playoffs with 9.
So,
I don't even know if you're making the playoffs with 10 in the NFC.
no,
We saw last year.
That's what I said. They win in that division. I'm telling you, I don't think this division is going to be as good as it was last year.
I don't either, but
and I think it's only going to be one team
10
going.
or 11 wins to win it.
Look,
Like, it ain't going to drop that much. We ain't dropping the NFC South levels.
I ain't saying we're going to be NFC South levels, but that division going to be better than they were last year. Let's just say I don't have faith in a lot of teams in that division like other people may have. Because I think even though they'll be better, I think Minnesota's not going to win 9. I don't think that Green Bay...
So you think Minnesota will be worse than they were last year? They won 9 last year.
Record-wise, I think they're going to be worse, but I think they're the second best team in that division.
Hmm. I can't give. The NFC North is going to be weird. I don't think it's going to be that great division
Right.
that it's
That's
been the
all I'm
last
saying.
couple
Yeah.
years. But I still think 10 or 11 wins is going to have to get the job done. Because if we're going to talk about our quote unquote tough schedule, Detroit got a quote unquote easy schedule. So that's why I think it'll balance it out to where you probably still need 10 or 11 wins to win that division. And I'm with you. I do think there's only going to be one NFC North playoff team. I don't think you're going to get a situation where it's two like it was last season.
No, I feel
But
you.
I feel like, what do you think about people who still have Bears PTSD? Do you think they just need to get over that, or you think there's still
I give
reason to
him
have some?
I give him one more year to get over it. I give him one more year to get over it. I'm over it because I got the one at 13. But I understand people having that PTSD. Especially when you look on TV and they continuously say the Bears got the most difficult schedule in the
Yeah,
NFL
but
this season.
the thing about not just sports media, but media in general, the idiots are running the asylum. Like it's very hard to get a legit analysis, no matter the sport,
Yeah,
anymore. So of course they're gonna say that because they know Bears fans are very reactionary and it's gonna piss us off.
yeah.
And we gonna be in the
And they
comments.
and the numbers are what they are, so I get it. But I don't blame people who having PTSD because you need to see it more. When you look at like let's move the Bears out the way so I could even better explain it. The PTSD. Excuse me. The Eagles ain't going nowhere. Even if AJ Brown gets traded on Monday, they ain't really going
The
nowhere.
Eagles are I think they're gonna be bad.
Ooh.
I think the Eagles are not making the playoffs. I got the Cowboys winning that division.
But that's actually where I was going. Well, I don't well, not necessarily that. I don't think they're
Because
not gonna
they
make the
get rid of
playoffs.
AJ Brown. That locker room can't stand Jalen. And
That's a
at
good
this
point.
point, what's even your offense around
But
Jalen? They don't even know anymore.
Well, that's a good point, but I still don't think they're going. I still think they're going to the playoffs at the very least, right? But I also believe that the Dallas Cowboys improved, and no matter what's going on in that locker room, I think the Giants improved just off of coaching alone. I think they improved. And Washington is Washington. I think that the NFC East is the strongest division in the NFC. When you look at the NFC West, you still got the Rams right there that's not going nowhere. And you got the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
I think
And
NFC West is the strongest division.
see, well, top to bottom is
Rams,
look,
Niners, Seattle.
yeah, but you got Arizona up in that bitch.
Yeah, but what do you say? The East? The East is always laughable. The East is never good. It's just laughable.
Now I think all four teams in the East are gonna have something to say, and I think that the Giants are going to be
I'm
better than
not
they was
buying
last year.
no Giant stock.
I said
There's
they're
going
gonna
to be
be
a lot
better.
of upset NFL executives and fans when we got to watch all these damn Giants primetime games.
Oh, I'm saying they're gonna be better. I ain't saying they're gonna how many games? They're gonna win more games than they did last year.
I mean,
But
that's not hard. What they won? Four?
exactly, that's what I'm saying. I think Washington is going to be back. I don't think Washington is going to be Huff. And then you got the Cowboys and the Eagles. I think a very underrated division is the NFC South because they all gonna beat each other up. Like I think they all gonna beat each other up, and there, but it's gonna be a good, fun, competitive division. The reason why I'm bringing those up because the Bears played numerous teams in those other divisions this year. And when you look at the improvements, look, I think we're gonna watch the Carolina Panthers, but they've improved. We play the Eagles at the beginning of the season. We could say we want to say there. And we play some of these
That
other teams
Carolina
too.
game tricky to me. I'm
See
gonna tell
that?
you why. It's
Go
week
ahead.
one.
See?
Weird shit happens week one. It's gonna be hot as hell outside. You know, you got
And they
that
not
week
at
one
home.
crowd. Every fan base in the NFL is confident until October comes and reality sets in. I could see a goofy game where the offensive line isn't fully clicked yet. Caleb throws a stupid interception and we lose like
And
21-19 or some shit like that.
and exactly what you explained is why I'm not mad at anybody having the Bears tax right now because that beginning of the season can be tricky. We get out of that beginning of the season 3-1, 4-0, then the Bears tax gotta go. That is when the Bears tax gotta go. Because now you really gonna see where that team is at. That first 4 games of the season, if you in week 5 still like, oh man, Bears, then you go kick rocks.
Can I just battle the Bears PTS comment real quick?
Go ahead.
So here's my issue with it. I'm not going to sit up here and act like the Bears have cured 30 to 40 years of trauma in one season.
Right.
I'm not naive to think that. But if you look at past Bears years where they made the playoffs or they won a division, one majority of the time they didn't win a playoff game the year before. That's number one. And they damn sure didn't beat the Green Bay Packers in the year before. If you look at the last calendar year, we have played the Green Bay Packers 4 times. We have won 3 of those 4 times. That's never happened in my life as a Bears fan, at least since I've actively been watching the team. Maybe it happened prior, but I think the 90s was a worse era against the Packers than...
I think you can only say that in the 80s.
Yeah, I think the 80s is the only time you can say that. So that... But I think the number one reason why I push back on Bears PTSD is because of Caleb Williams. Not even really Ben Johnson, because I'm not fully 100% Ben's the guy. I've seen Matt Nagy, and obviously Ben, his first year was way more impressive than anything Nagy has done. But I think it takes a couple years before you know what kind of head coach you got. I have watched this kid, Caleb, from the moment he is coming to this team. Honestly, before that, I lived in Los Angeles, so I saw both years he was at USC. So I've seen the progression. The only way I see this team winning less than 10 games is if Caleb misses a significant amount of time. That's the only way, and that's including my major concerns with the pass rush. If the pass rush is even middle of the road, I'm talking 14, 15, this team winning 2 out of 13 games. That's my belief in it. Because I was watching Austin Booker yesterday. I don't think he's going to be an elite defensive edge. He sure look like one.
Oh, word?
Now I'm just talking about physical build. I'm not saying
I ain't seen shit.
Yeah, he said, name me 5 Arsenal players. Okay. Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, Paul Davis, Rocky Rocastle, Tony Adams, Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell, Patrick. I just named Patrick Vieira already. Theo Walcott. I could be here all day. Okay. I gave you like 13. Get off my
Mike, stop trying to question my man's.
Yeah.
Trying to question my man's Arsenal knowledge. You asked me to name 5 Arsenal players.
Name current. I can name the whole team. Devin Ryan,
right?
Leandro Trossard, Victor Gyökeres, Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, Martin Odegaard, Miles Skelly, Ricardo Calafiori, Pierre Capier, Gabriel Saliba, Jurriën Timber. Come on, bro. Get off
Only Arsenal I know is the battle rapper. Let's stop.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Go ahead, man.
You try to question me. All right. I can name the whole 1998 starting lineup if I wanted to. All right. Anyway.
Clown.
Just make sure he ain't a bandwagon. Salute to you. Anyway. But was you talking or was I talking?
Nah, that was you.
Remember.
My man's interrupted you. That was you talking.
Yeah. But what I was saying about the Bears PTSD thing is as long as he don't get hurt, this should be an okay year. You know what I'm saying? I think this team, this is actually funny though. I think this team on paper right now, he said, I live in London, all the fake art. Hey man, salute to you. Shout out to you watching for being in London. All right. Yeah, if you're going to the parade this weekend,
to the king,
have a good time at the parade because I can't be there. But our guy Nikhil, one of the executive producers of the show, Nikhil will be. In fact, Nikhil's there right now.
And let's go.
So he's going to the Champions League watch party tomorrow. And then he's going to the parade on Sunday. So shout out to you for watching. Shout out to London. But anyway, the Bears are going to be fine. It's basically what I was trying to say. As long as Caleb Williams is walking, we'll be fine.
Let me ask you a question because you said something. I was actually waiting for you to go a little bit more deeper. You mentioned confidence. Talk about that confidence, the confidence and the swagger you saw from Caleb in OTAs and how it was different maybe than last year.
Honestly, it wasn't just Caleb. Everybody knew what they were supposed to be. on, you know what I'm saying? Crash stars for finally which I thought that was a little that's a little backhanded comment, but thank you. But everybody knew what they were supposed to be. And I think obviously this was supposed to be in year 2 of the Ben Johnson system, but there wasn't confusion. Like I really felt like really all through camp last year, I had major questions. Remember, I was coming in the group chat. I was like, offense might not be good till week 8.
Oh yeah. You was
I was trying to temper all expectations, but everybody knows what it is. And one thing I did find very interesting. We always are talking about what's the tight end? Roush.
Sam Roush.
He ran with the ones. Majority of practice yesterday. And Colston was there. So it's not, Colston wasn't there. Colston was there. He's running a lot of 13 personnel yesterday. And I was like, okay. I see what Ben trying to do here. DeAndre Swift still looks fast. Kyle Minogue guy. He's not getting yelled at by Eric Bieniemy like he was a year ago. Eric Bieniemy was on him. Like, I didn't think that Kyle was going to make the team. Like, honestly, it was that bad. But everybody knows what it's going to be. But the comment that got me excited, and it got me more excited after I watched practice, I think it was Jason Leisure or Patrick Finley. One of them asked about, what do you think about Luther Burden? And Ben locked in, was like, I'd buy a lot of Luther Burden stock. He said he's been here since day one. He's stepping up. I will say this to my son, Romulus Odunze. I believe in you, brother. I was in the hospital on draft day 2024.
You was.
And they said my blood pressure was too high because I was watching the NFL draft while I was waiting for the doctor because I was waiting for him to draft wrong. So I was sitting there and I was telling the nurse, we traded up. Like, we need to get Rome Odunze. So Rome, I believe in you. Rome is a super nice guy. But hear me very clearly. There's a young man with dreads from St. Louis, Missouri, who is coming for your job. Okay? You better get it together. Because, you saw that play that was on the socials yesterday. When that ball's in the air, I was like, is Rome going to catch this? That was literally what I was thinking when the ball was there. Is he going to catch this? And he did catch it. But I think that there's going to be more confidence in the offense. You're going to see Ben open it up a little bit more because he trusts his guys more. But there's definitely an attitude from the coaching staff down to the players that, the defense messed up last year, but we can be so much better offensively. And I thought it was very interesting when Ben told us yesterday that he's been sitting in on defensive meetings. And remember we talked about a couple weeks ago? I think this will make a break year for Dennis Allen.
I said it.
When Ben is doing remember how you used to be in class and your parents would show up randomly?
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of the class? Ben in the back of the class. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel Ben in his heart thinks that, there's some personnel issues, but I do think it was more of a coaching issue. He called out Antoine Randall. And that was nothing. Caleb was talking back to the coaches. Caleb was cussing out the D-line coach. So man, don't be running that type of defense on me. Like he knows who he is now. And that's what I love to see. Yes, right. That's what I would take from the confidence that I saw from the crew yesterday.
That's what I love to hear.
Now, granted, it's May. I just want to throw that caveat out there.
Hey,
it's May.
Whoa. The only reason why I'm not going to let you do that is because I can't ever remember a time in my life as a Bears fan that the offense and confidence was in the same sentence. Defense?
That's a good point.
That's good point. But the reason why I asked that is because now year 2 inside of an offense, year 2 inside of everything that's going on, like you need to know that your leaders lead. You need to be comfortable in that.
Speaking of leadership, if you want to talk about the defense, Jalen Johnson was there, ready to go. He's starting early, which I think is a massive thing because Jalen missed a lot last year recovering from that injury. Jalen was there.
And Al Harris was trying to avoid conversations the last one.
Yeah. Al Harris is out there on his walkie-talkie in the middle of the field, like always. Kyler was there doing rehab, which I'm tired of talking about Kyler going to rehab. But Well, what is even like? Honestly, look, I'm not even trying to slander. I mess with Kyler, super cool dude. But bro, where you be getting injured at? You ain't played football in 4 months. How you get a soft tissue injury? When you pull your hamstring walking? Like, come on, dog. Like when Brad Biggs put that report out a week ago, I was like, of course he is. Of course he is.
Well,
like,
come
come
where
on,
you get
man.
injured at? Where you get injured at? Where you be
Like
getting hurt
for
at?
real, where you get injured at? Like that's the only question I had. I will say Al Harris spoke very confidently about Tyreek Stevenson yesterday. Said her Jalen Johnson been a diva. I can say that is not true. I can say for sure that is not true. Jalen is really stepping up as a leader, considering he's one of the. In fact, Jalen might be the longest tenured Bear right now. I'm trying to think about it. Yeah, he got drafted during the pandemic, so yeah. But anyway, I think it was a lot of good vibes yesterday. As much good vibes you can get from an OTA practice at the end of May. Like what I saw yesterday. Let's pivot. Bear Stadium. So there's been a lot of news going on. Not really a lot of news, but a lot of deadline information is being thrown out this weekend about when are the Bears going to make this decision of where the stadium is going to finally be at. Now, I talked to our boy Mikey, who's real tapped in to how things work in the state and in the city as far as like infrastructure and
Alderman Mikey, you know what I'm saying?
Alderman Mikey. Oh, he's Alderman. He's Puerto Rican Alderman Tate. That's what we gonna call him. Alderman Solito. And basically, from what he told me is there is an 11:59 deadline for Sunday. I think it is. Let me double check here. Yeah. This Sunday, because once June 1st hits, all the politicians and congressmen and women for the state area are going to be going on summer recess, which basically means they will not be having any scheduled meetings until the fall, unless they call a special session, which means they can meet at any point this summer to vote on it. So basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to get a bill that'll pass the Senate, the state Senate, get to the House and get approved by the House. They have 3 days, which as he described to me is a lifetime. They're going to be working around the clock, and they basically need 60 votes to pass the bill. In the Senate, 30 votes are needed. If they don't agree to the deadline on something, they'll go to a special session. The General Assembly must achieve a 3/5 majority vote to each chamber. So it goes from 60 to 71 needed in the House and 30 to 36 in the Senate. So basically, they just need to try to get something done before midnight Sunday, or else it becomes a bigger hurdle and longer wait to try and get something done. And I was watching Holmes and Spiegel. Shout out to Lawrence Holmes. And basically, I forgot who the guest was, but he was on there telling them, like, basically, if let's just say that no vote happens or nothing happens this weekend, which is what I'm personally expecting. If they don't say, all right, we're going to Indiana, they lose all their, I guess, pull in negotiations. And basically, you're calling your bluff now. And that's where I think it's going to be the interesting thing here. Are the Bears going to be like, screw this, we're going to Indiana, and we're not waiting anymore? Or are they still going to be waiting in the wings? And at this point, to me, I've talked about it on this show, on 79th and Halas, to people who have texted me. I've brought this up on WGN, ESPN Florida, all the outlets I've been on these last couple months. I don't care if it's on the moon. And I think a lot of Bears fans, even though they don't want the team to leave Chicago, or more specifically the state, we just want an answer to this. And I truly believe that, one, the Bears put Kevin Warren in a bad position with land that he didn't ask to buy.
Yep.
Which is typical old Bears, you know. And number two, I have to give Kevin Warren a little bit of blame for not really doing his research on how politics in this city and in this state work. It's not called the Windy City because of the weather, people. Okay. So I do believe that he thought that it was going to be as easy as it was in Minnesota. And I also feel like he thought that there was still a chance for him to be in the city. And this comment right, he said the location in Indiana is trash. He said surrounded by fact. I mean, all that's going to be changed. They'll build a whole little Bears town over there. But I did find it very interesting that a lot of people are saying that the Bears aren't really in love with that area, and this is all a bluff. So I think that at the least, We'll find out whether the Bears are bluffing or not this weekend. I do not believe they're going to vote anything. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be put up or shut up time for the Bears, and we're really going to figure out how much longer this is going to go on.
Yeah, I believe that the state of Illinois is going to call the Bears bluff. They're going to really see. They're going to really ask the Bears like how much you really love Indiana, because we see what's over there. We see what's across the street. We see what's over there. I'm not really worried about the land part. Here's why. I think honestly, the real estate part of it to me is too much of nothing, because you can go take Hammond and make Hammond, as you said, Bearstown, USA. You could just slowly, just continually buy real estate after real estate after real estate, and everything that we see in Hammond now will look totally different. That's look, man. That's I used to live in Silver Spring, Maryland. When I moved to the DC area, I moved to Silver Spring, Maryland. And I remember having a conversation about downtown Silver Spring, how downtown Silver Spring used to look like the hood. But the Discovery building, Discovery bought a building or built a building right in the middle of downtown Silver Spring. And then everything around it started
I
to
mean,
grow.
you can look around the United Center. Does
I
that
was
look
just
like
at,
the out west that you used to know?
right. You could go to the United Center. If you want to go to Illinois, you could go to United Center.
Yep.
You could go look at over there on Roosevelt and Ashland. That shit used to be the hood. But UIC bought all of that stuff and they consistently
Sure
built
did.
over years. We could go
There's white people by O Block now.
right. I was just about to say,
I
look
thought there
at
was some crackheads over there. I was like,
that's what I was about to say. Like go look at the University of Chicago.
yeah,
I'm not worried about the real estate as far as what can they build if they do it. I'm more worried about the land and if the land is buildable. And I don't think that the Bears would have did this research without knowing that you can build on that land. It's just going to take some work. So that's one piece of this. I'm not worried about that.
hey, Orlando, there was no such thing as a West Loop 10 years ago.
10
Get
years
30
ago, right?
years ago.
Right. West Town. Like, what the hell is West Town? Like, so I ain't worried about what it could look like. I'm worried about the land and if the
Yeah.
land is buildable and all of that
What's the
stuff.
quality of the land?
Like, what's the quality of the land? Because that real estate will change everything. That's the only thing that I'm worried about here. But because of everything that we're hearing, I do believe that this is not going to be an 11th hour deal like Comiskey Park was. Because for those who might not be old enough, the White Sox was supposed to be in Florida, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry Reinsdorf all but moved the White Sox to Florida. They
Where the
had
Tampa Bay
logos,
Raiders was going to be at.
right? They had logos, they had merch, they had everything, literally everything. At the 11th hour, the state of Illinois was like, up, deal signed. Like, literally, if I can remember correctly, it was literally to the minute. I don't think this is going to be that. I really believe that the state of Illinois is going to be like, all right, let's see what you do because we don't
Right.
believe you'll do it. And it's going to be up to Kevin Warren, the McCaskey family, the Bears organization to count on them to do that. And when they call your bluff, go ahead and grab it. I don't think that the Bears, I say all of that to say, I don't think this ends with the Bears in Illinois because of that. I don't believe that because if that was the case, we wouldn't be waiting to the 11th hour. I don't think this ends because I don't think the Bears are going to have a choice because you're going to look like shit if on June 1st, there's not an announcement that the Bears is moving to Hammond, Indiana. I really believe it's going to make the Bears organization
It's going to look so bad.
extremely bad.
Yeah.
You're going to look like hoes. You're going to have to take
And like,
that deal.
even if there's like something that the Senate and people actually feel like they'll agree to, they're going to call their bluff because I feel like the state, everybody around them is like, they're not going to Indiana. They're going to have to do what you just said with the whole White Sox thing. We're going. You know what I'm saying? And then, because you got two people who somebody got to blink. Neither team, I mean, either side wants this team to leave the state. But somebody got to act like we're fine with it. And I think it's got to be the Bears. But I'm with you. I do not think this is going to happen. I think that the number one problem, the Bears have played this thing entirely wrong. No matter how you feel about where the team should be, where the stadium should be. Remember that presentation they did where they had the whole layup? That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. They bought Arlington Heights 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, so much time has passed. And if you're going to be sitting here on your hands again, it's just a terrible look for the Bears. And if you're the Bears, at that, all your leverage is gone. If you don't decide we're going to Indiana, all your leverage is gone, and now they can just play around with you for as long as they want.
Yeah. They got to go. I hate to say it. But if June 1st at midnight, there's no deal. If June 1st by midnight,
there's not
no
a
deal.
press
The Bears
release
got to go.
in my mail, in my email, about the morning I wake up on June 1st, they're screwed.
Oh, I think it is. I think it's going to be a press release on June 1st. I do. And that press release is going to be, we've made the decision to move to Hammond, Indiana.
Okay.
Because
look. I mean, there's no other option.
Yeah, and it's not because of the Bears. I think it's because of the state. Yeah. And I really, truly believe that J.B. Pritzker and the state are really like, man, they ain't going nowhere. Like, they can't. They gonna do that. And if you look at the Bears want to own. They want to own their real estate. They want to do that. And here's the other thing, too. I mean, we're talking about the Bears organization. We're talking about the McCaskies. Go look at those minority owners. Go look at people like Pat Ryan. Pat Ryan just built the stadium for Northwestern with his own bread.
Bro, the Chicago Fire Stadium is going to be ready in like 2 summers.
Yeah, like this dude just paid for what's probably going to be the best stadium in the state of Illinois, Northwestern Stadium, with his own money, over 800 million. I ain't saying he about to go foot that bill for the Bears, but he's the minority owner, and if something would happen with the McCaskies, he has the first right to purchase. Yeah. You think somebody like that is going to want to purchase a team that don't own their stadium and don't own nothing? It's not even attractive for the McCaskies to sell if they were to be bitches at this point.
I agree. 100%,
and I'm not trying to call them McCaskey family bitches. I'm just saying that Illinois trying to make y'all, the state of Illinois trying to make y'all look like that. And I don't think y'all gonna look like that.
Very interesting to see how this plays out this weekend, man. But let's pivot to the NBA. We are a game away for having our 2026 NBA Finals matchup set. Obviously, the New York Knicks have swept the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have won 10 in a row, which is the biggest win streak in the playoffs in New York Knicks history. They are the Eastern Conference champions. Jalen Brunson won the Larry Bird Eastern Conference Finals MVP award. We will get to the Knickerbockers in just a second. But before we get into that, before we get into Spurs Thunder, I have a question for you, man. Because I don't think people are talking about it. Now, granted, I haven't looked at my main Twitter timeline in 2 months. I have no idea what they're talking about. When I do log on Twitter, I'm either tweeting out a thought I had, tweeting out a link I have, or I'm looking at my Twitter list of things that I want to see, so I don't have to look at the crap that is on my main timeline. But I feel like these playoffs have been very boring, and we're not admitting how boring it is. Like, even if you look at these Western Conference Finals, let's be honest. Game 1 was incredible. Games 2 through 6, pretty boring. I think these NBA playoffs have been very boring, and I'm trying to figure out where the NBA goes from here from that. Now, I have my questions about this new era of the NBA. I think it lacks star power, and what I mean by lack star power is not the talent on the court. I think talent-wise, it's the most talented it's ever been. But who are the guys that's going to take us into these next generation? I think Wemby is definitely one. I think some of these other guys aren't interesting enough to do that. But there's been a lot of blowouts. Like, I've been moving a lot of games to my iPad while I watch something else. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's good for the NBA. I think the best thing about these NBA playoffs for the NBA has been the Knicks run. And I think the best thing for the NBA is if the Knicks win the NBA championship. I do not want that to happen. I'm not going to be actively rooting against the Knicks. I don't care that much. I have too many New York friends, and I like it when New York sports teams lose. I don't want that. But for the NBA, it will be absolutely perfect. But I find myself turning the game off early, moving it to my iPad while I watch something else that I wanted to watch. Hasn't really drawn me in. Bang, do you feel the same way? And if so or not, why?
I don't I don't feel like they've been boring only because of the excitement of one of the teams being able to go to the finals, which is the Knicks. Sometimes a blowout with a certain team just make you excited to see them go to the next level. So for the Eastern Conference Finals, it was just the fact that, oh man, the Knicks are really going to the finals. This OKC San Antonio thing, ah, it's not been exciting as I thought it could be.
I think it's been boring. I can't name really any moment outside of game one.
Yeah, I can't really name any. Yeah, it's been a lot of complaining.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, it's been a lot of flopping. But even with the flop, here's the thing about flopping. Some stuff do be fouls. I think that Shea is at a part right now in his career where, when you've been winning, he done won his second MVP in a row. He's 5 wins away from going back to back. First team to do that in 8 years. Um, People are starting to hate him, and I think the way he plays. Let me be very clear. I think Shea gets fouled a lot. I do. I do think he flops from time to time, but I look at Shea. I don't think it's anywhere near egregious as James Harden was doing in his prime. I wanted to turn the TV off when I was watching that. And then you also got some people who don't like Wemby because they think he's a tryhard or he fakes the emotion he's gotten. He gets away with, stuff that other players wouldn't get away with. And I think because these two players are so good that people are starting to hate them more now, and it's taking away the enjoyment of what you can take from this series. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I think that's just how sports is now in general. I really be asked the question: how many people actually like sports? Like, think about it. I love a good hate watch as much as anybody, but I think some people enjoy hate watches more than they enjoy watching their team win. It's like everybody just wants to get the best takeout. Everybody wants to get some get back. And I think that dilutes the conversation for sports. But we're not talking about a two-time MVP going up against a guy who's definitely going to win MVPs in his career, a guy who could win the NBA championship in his third season. Like, we're not even talking about how much of a legacy moment this is tomorrow for both of these guys.
Yeah,
We're up here talking about fouls and how Wemby's officiated. Like NBA sits in the room and says, we don't want any fouls for the French dude. It's stupid. And I
yeah,
think that's the main problem what the NBA has right now is the league has been at the forefront of bad discourse. You know what I'm saying? Like every sports league has it. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't watch golf, but I'm pretty sure golf has some idiots with a podcast mic giving terrible takes. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it is. Since I've been watching soccer, it's terrible. Like it's god awful. NFL, I thought that was a safe place. No,
yeah.
there's so many people who are done with that. So I feel like because of the conversation around these sports, that even if this series was better than I think it is, we'll be talking more about the basketball. This is a watershed moment in the history of the NBA for me. You're going past the LeBron, the Steph, the KD era, and this is the first real big series post that era, and we up here talking about fouls, man. So that's I think it's annoying. Like we talking about fouls, bro, and I don't know how the NBA get past that, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's taken away from the excitement that every time we have a conversation about this series, we're talking about fouls. We're talking about um we're talking about flopping versus other stuff. Like that takes away from it. Like just hoop. Um that feels like it's been the story. I hope this game 7 is way better than what the series looks like. I do feel like Wemby got the eye of the tiger. Like
Yeah.
I do feel like that. And I kind of feel like we're about to get a historic game from him.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a great game in general. Like I said, game 1 was incredible. Games 2 through 6, for the most part, pretty sleepy because one team has gotten the upper hand in the second half and they pretty much run away with it. I think yesterday the Spurs won by like 25 to 30 points or something like that. And this has not been a great shooting series for Shea. He's had an issue. And I think that that's the issues that Wemby presents. I don't think that the Spurs have done some just amazing defensive job to change the way that the Thunder have been playing the prior 2 rounds. No, they've got a 7'5" dude in the middle of the court who you got to think twice about before you put a layup, before you shoot a mid-range, before you get to the basket, before you try to get to the free throw line. He makes you think about everything. So I think that's been more of an issue in general. But something tells me tomorrow's game is going to be incredible. I think it's going to be incredible. I think you're going to see incredible performances from both Wemby and Shea. But I think the Thunder are just going to have a little bit too much from the Spurs against the Spurs. They're going to be at home. They know how to win these type of games. They had 2 Game 7s in last year's round. Going up against the Denver Nuggets. Having the Game 7 against Indiana, which would have been way closer to Tyrese Halliburton ain't his Achilles. So they've been here before. As impressive as the Spurs have been, and I think that they're way ahead of the curve. I feel like in sports, especially in basketball, you still got to lose first before you win. And I think they'll put up a valiant effort tomorrow, but I think the Thunder will win. And then in the finals, I think you're going to get back to seeing the Thunder we've seen all season and in the first 2 rounds, because it's not going to be a 7'2" dude in the middle of the court changing the way that you play a game. All love the cat. He ain't doing that. Oh, well, speaking of this, Jalen Williams has been ruled out Game 7 for tomorrow. He didn't look good yesterday.
At all.
He tried to come out for his team. So, yeah, that's a blow. I still stand by what I say. But I do believe that if you're the Thunder, if I'm the Thunder, if I'm Mark Daigneault, if I'm anybody on that team, or if I'm a Thunder fan, let's just get to the finals and we can get back to playing our game. And we're about to talk about the Knicks now, but no Wemby is going to make them go back to how they usually play, more free-flowing. And if the Spurs do win, the Knicks got a major problem. So, who you got winning tomorrow?
I'm sticking with my prediction. I said San Antonio is going to win in 7, and I'm sticking with San Antonio in 7. And I do believe that Wemby is going to have an iconic Game 7. I think that he has a Game 7 performance that we're going to be talking about for years to come.
This is the NBA cliche, Game 7s make legends and shit like that. Here's my question for you before we move on to the next. What's your favorite Game 7 in NBA history?
Woo!
I've got mine already.
In NBA history, not like
it can
playoffs.
Playoffs.
It's course play.
It ain't got to be the finals. It ain't got to be the finals.
Man,
I can give mine if you want to keep thinking.
Give me yours, because it's not 3-1.
Okay, no, that's not. Even though I thought that Game 7 was incredible. My favorite Game 7 is Lakers Kings 2002. Overtime.
That's because Lakers Portland went 7, right?
Yep. Lakers won 3-1.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Because we was just coming from Mississippi. Like I just came from Mississippi to visit my grandmother, and we was driving there. We had the TV, like my father had the portable TV and everything, and we started being able to watch the game, and then that alley-oop was like, oh, that's over with. So yeah, mine is Lakers Portland Game 7 because that alley-oop.
I think I was telling our guy Nikhil about this like a couple weeks before Arsenal won the Premier League, because I told him that droughts in sports don't end easily. And I felt like a real old head. Now, we all know Nikhil is only 21, but I felt like I was 50, giving him all these old sports examples. And the 2000 Lakers was one I brought up, because I don't think, unless you were around during that time, I was 12 when it happened. I don't think people realize how close the Lakers were to breaking Kobe and Shaq up.
Very close.
They lose that series. They trade Kobe. It's not even a question. They were down 15 points in the third quarter, and Phil told them it was a good year. I'll see y'all in September. And Shaq and Kobe was like, oh, word? Bet. and they got it together. Hit a couple shots. Rick Fox hit a couple shots. Kobe did what he did. And then the alley-oop, which in my opinion is the most famous alley-oop ever. Even over the D-Wade LeBron we saw. That was a regular season game against the Bucks. That they have a mural of that alley-oop in Staples Center, right next to like one of the bars.
Oh, word?
Yeah, it's a cool mural they got over there. That sent shockwaves and was like, okay, the Lakers are officially back. And they made easy work of the Pacers in the NBA Finals. But mine is 2002. Mainly because I bet my PlayStation 2 and I was able to keep my PlayStation 2 because the Lakers won.
Boy, you would have lost that PlayStation 2.
First of all, I'd have lost it and my parents would have got it back. And I'd have been very embarrassed. That's number one. But I had bet that. I was the only person in my school who liked the Lakers because I was a massive Kobe fan. I don't think people understand. Like, everybody be talking about LeBron was hated. Yeah, he was. But nobody liked Kobe until he wasn't able to hurt y'all anymore. Like, I used to get shamed for being a Kobe fan back in the day. I was fighting the good fight. But when they beat them in overtime and Chris Webber and Mike Bibby start taking them stupid shots and the Lakers won in overtime, boy, I was happy like I was a lifelong Laker fan. So that's probably my favorite one, despite all the cheating happening on in that series. But whatever. That'd be my favorite game 7. But let's move on to the Knicks. The New York Knicks are in the NBA Finals after 27 years. The last time the Knicks made the NBA Finals, it was 1999 with a second-year Tim Duncan, still a pretty good David Robinson, Avery Johnson having the series of his life.
I just passed about with D-Rod. You know what I'm saying?
Incredible. Avery Johnson had a great final that year. My question for you, Bang, what was your life like in 1999?
Boy,
last time Knicks made the finals.
Boy, I was a junior in high school. I just thought about that. That was 1999.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just getting out of my junior year at Proviso East. I was a junior at Proviso East, and I was going into summer school at Proviso East, and I ended up transferring to Lyons Township right after that. I think I had an art class with D. Brown.
Wow.
They got art class with like D. Brown or whatever. So like that his freshman year and everything, like that whole team with like Chris Porter, Alari, and Stephen Hunter. Yeah. Oh yeah, Stephen Hunter. Yeah, that's the tallest man I ever seen in my life at the time. It's like, yo, this nigga tall as hell, man. Like, what's going on? But yeah, that's my senior year. 1999. Matter of fact, I got a picture. I have a picture of me in I want to say that's 1999, because that's when the Ferrari was that's when the Ferrari Jordans came. Like,
I remember them.
But the blue ones, and I had those and that thing. And we went to Mississippi, and me and my cousin both had it, and we went to Shoney's in Mississippi, and them niggas like, oh, he got the new Jordans. And we was like, yeah, we're going back to the hotel because we ain't got no time fighting for the shoes. So yeah, that was me in 1999.
In 1999, I was in 5th grade. I remember trying to figure out how I was gonna continue my life after Michael Jordan retired. That's why I remember that. That's why I became such a Kobe fan, because obviously I was a Mike fan, and then Mike retired, and it was a lockout season. I remember I didn't watch much of the regular season that year, but I tuned in the playoffs. The Knicks made the finals. They were the 8th seed. A lot of people forget that. They were 8th seed.
Yep.
That big 4-point play that Larry Johnson had was in that playoff run. Latrell Sprewell.
Allen Houston.
With the runner. Patrick Ewing was hurt.
Broke that wrist.
Yeah. And I just remember that everybody was starting to talk about Y2K. I remember that also. So
I thought I was gonna die. I did. I was big into, man, the world gonna end because of the year 2000. So I was going into that year like, yo, this is it.
Yeah, the way people were talking about Y2K, I definitely thought it was curtains. And then I remember when when it was like 11 o'clock in Chicago, but the power was still on in New York. because they're an hour ahead of us. Like, oh, okay, we're in the
We're
clear.
good. We're good.
Like, if you're too young, you don't remember they were telling us stack up on your canned goods
Mm-hmm.
and make sure you have water in the house. Like, it was really like it was D-Day coming. Um, that was pretty hilarious. I'm seeing this comment here from Orlando. He said he graduated grammar school in 1990. For somebody who talks about bang age all the time, you not
Right.
young.
At all. Right. At all.
Like graduating grammar school in 99. You know what
Boy,
I'm
you a
saying?
year. Wait a minute. You 39?
He gotta be.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
This slander is invalid now.
This slander is invalid now. Because my
Like, what are we
wife,
doing?
I'm 4 years older than my wife. So she graduated from the 8th grade in 2000 when I graduated from high. Like, come on, Orlando. Now you pissed
Yeah,
me off.
man. You just blew your cover, dog. I didn't know you was that old, man.
Now, Irv
But
Gotti over here talking about some. I was in the 2nd grade.
yeah,
Like, yeah, I
bro.
know you 40. Because you just same age as my wife. You can, man, boy, you 4 years younger than me, fam. You're washed just like
Yeah,
I am.
yeah, man. No more slander for you,
No more
Orlando.
slander with you.
I thought she was my age at the
And 40 in
least.
Hispanic is old. Like 40 in Hispanic is old,
You
fam.
really 50.
Like you really 55, fam. You just need to go ahead and get the fat mustache right now. You just need
Go ahead, be in these commercials with Luis Guzman. Make
yeah,
make him
boy.
make one of the commercials.
Orlando, your girlfriend 18. That's that. Your girlfriend 18,
He
fam.
said your girlfriend 18.
Yeah, so yeah,
He
you
said he
messed
really
it.
53 and messing with
We
you.
know you a fat mustache away and a young king thing.
Who's my man in that Blake Griffin commercial?
You talking
Is
about
that Luis Guzman?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's Orlando.
yeah, you boy. Don't call me old no more. You older than me
Yeah,
in
no
Mexican
more. No
years.
more streets for you, B. But Knicks. Here's the thing, man. I do not like the Knicks. And it has less to do with the Knicks and more to do with I don't know how many New York homies you got. I got a lot of New York homies. Like a lot. Like during Knicks game day, my Instagram feed, you would think I'm a Knicks fan from how much stuff comes into my algorithm because I follow all these Knicks fans. Now I am happy for my Knicks fans homies because they die hard. I know what it feels like when your team that you love wins. Having said all of that, we cannot allow a world where the New York Knicks are NBA champions. Okay. We cannot allow that. But I do think on paper, this is the best opportunity they've had since the 1994 finals. Like, this is the best chance they have. I think Jalen Brunson's been great. The team in general has been great. Mike Brown is really doing the things that Tibbs wasn't doing. Now, I'm not finna sit up here and talk about, oh, they only played this team and that team. Look, man, you play who's in front of you. You can't shame a team for who was put in front of them. I question how they can hang against these two teams in the Western Conference. But I do think if you're a Knicks fan, you shouldn't be going into this NBA Finals thinking that you can't win. And I do believe there's a world where they can win. But I also want to see how they're going to respond when they're faced with real adversity. Not, oh, we're down 2-1 to the Atlanta Hawks. Real adversity. Because this will be the first series they have where they don't have home court. So people aren't going to be starting the series off at the Garden. You're going to have to go to a very raucous crowd that they got out there in OKC or San Antonio. Now, Bang, do you think the Knicks can actually win the finals?
If it is my prediction, yes. Yes, I think it is a easier chance for the Knicks to pull out an upset on the Spurs than it is OKC. I think if they go up against OKC gonna run them out the building. They got too much in waves. But I think that the veteran presence of the Knicks and that play hard atmosphere, I think they can beat the San Antonio Spurs.
So if it is the Thunder, you don't think they can beat the Thunder?
If it's the Thunder beating them in 5.
Yeah, I think the Thunder provide a very big mismatch for them. Basketball is all about matchups. I mean, sports is all general is about matchups. But if I and this sounds crazy because you don't want to pray for a 7'5" French dude who can shoot 3-pointers from half court. But I feel like if they want to give themselves the best chance, they need to be big Spurs fans tomorrow.
Yeah.
So but I think for the NBA it's perfect. I think for the NBA you got a great storyline regardless. You got either the future face of the league going up against at worst your third biggest fan base, or you got the MVP and trying to be the first repeat champion in almost a decade going up against the Knicks. I think it's a great story either way, and I think it'll be a very competitive finals. I want a competitive finals that ends with the Knicks losing. And then that's just the hater in me. That's fine.
That's the hater in me too. But if the Knicks win against San Antonio after not being in the finals since 1999 against San Antonio, it's definitely the finals is on ABC, right?
Yeah, ABC, ESPN.
First of all, that's bullshit. I don't like that.
Well, the only good thing about it is we get inside the NBA during the finals, which we never got before.
Yeah, that's true, but I just like the NBC Peacock coverage better.
Yeah, I do too. But I think that was part of the deal, the media deal, where we're still going to give our. That's why they gave the All-Star game to NBC because they knew they weren't getting the finals. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. The finals begin on Wednesday. Game 1 will be in either San Antonio or Oklahoma City. We'll break down the first game and preview game 2 when we're on the show next week. So that is all we got for y'all today on this edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Man, what you got on tap for the weekend?
Well, first of all, shouts out to G Don Illuminati. That's the one thing that I forgot to mention in this. Yes, the Knicks beat the Spurs in the preseason tournament. So they're gonna come up in there with a little bit more confidence with that too. So shouts out to the Knicks.
Yeah, shout out to that. But the Bulls also beat the Heatles 4 times during the regular season. That means nothing when the playoffs start.
That means nothing, but that's why I'm a little bit concerned about the Knicks. With the Spurs, if they play the Knicks, what I am up to this weekend? First Black Champ. We're back tomorrow. Clash in Italy is on Sunday, so we're gonna be talking about that. And what else? And relaxing because this has been a long ass week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be chilling.
Yeah, I'm chilling tomorrow. Champions League final, Arsenal, PSG. It's gonna be us versus the world because nobody wants to see us win both trophies this year. If you don't watch soccer, you want to watch one game to see if you should watch the sport. Tune in to CBS/Paramount Plus tomorrow at noon Eastern time. You got the best attack in PSG versus the best defense that we got. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a real game. PSG 3. No. If you think they're putting 3 on us, nobody has scored on us in a month and a half. Just going to put that out there. And I respect PSG. It would not surprise me if they win. I got Arsenal 2-1 tomorrow. There's a parade on Sunday no matter what happens tomorrow because we won the Premier League. But it's going to be a fun game. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend, chilling and watching that. But shout out to everybody who watched. If somebody in the chat who was watching from London, shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the people who usually watch us. Summer session will be back next week. I promise. I know I've been promising that for a month. But we will be back next week. Anyway, that's all we got. Follow Bang at JR Bang. Follow me at BarbChair Scott. And y'all have a great weekend. And we gonna holler at y'all.